Another year of Sage has come, and with it has brought a ton of fan games, of course. They are called Sage after all, but they also include a lot of unique indie games and provide a platform where they can be exposed to a lot of people. So I really wanted to highlight some of my favorites. I genuinely really enjoyed my time with this one. Just from the character design alone, I was just pulled to it. Beats, Luke, and Crab really did just cook straight up heat here.
Oh my god, is that Luke Station from Luke Station YouTube channel? Oh my god. And is that Beats at the little side corner?
It's just a super enjoyable platformer. I think it really shows just from the game speaking for itself when you just play and you just enjoy running around the levels.
Hehe, thank you for adding this. Let's go. Oh, you can see the next area from here. That's so cool. They definitely know what they were doing.
As it says in its description, this is a 3D platformer. That means it has collectibles you can find in stages, rewards you for exploring and thinking outside the box, NPCs you can interact with and reap rewards from for assisting them, great stages that take advantage of the main character's moveset, and of course, killer music.
2000 and...
Oh! He dances! It's full of personality, soul, and charm. I think my favorite part of this demo was at the end where they hold you for a bit and ask you to wait. This is where you can try out the full moveset as a bonus for completing the entire demo. I thought this was super cool. And I gotta say, if you enjoyed moving around in the game, then this will be the reason you love it. I really enjoyed how flexible this little guy is and how great it was just messing around with the mechanics it provided me. Hell, you can even use this in a new game plus at the end. It's so dope. Oh, and that's not even mentioning the combat system. Now, don't expect anything like Devil May Cry or something crazy like that. It felt so good timing shield blocks and then staggering enemies, then going in for the finishing blow. Or the fact if you were fast enough, you could defeat things super quickly with quick attacks. Now, of course, it's not perfect, mostly because it's an early demo, so most of my issues can be fixed by the time that the game finally releases. I just had so much fun exploring and taking my time with this one. By far, one of my highlights from Sage this year, and I genuinely hope they're successful and get the attention they deserve. I was definitely sold by what they're currently cooking. Right off the bat, the pixel art is just an immediate W. It just doesn't disappoint. As the name implies, you're Ducky, a duck that owns a package delivery service, and you even use a propeller to do so. And if you can immediately smell the challenge from that, oh boy, does this game have you covered. As the name implies, the main challenge and objective of the game is to deliver packages from their origin to their destination, while attempting to not damage it in the process. The more damage you take, the less points you get for delivering. Points both contribute to extra time and stars. Stars being the thing you need to progress to other levels in the overworld map. But if you wish though, the game can also be played in relax mode, where the time and damage get removed and you can take it nice and easy. But of course, I became a UPS driver. Since these characters are of the aviary family, they get to get pretty wacky with the level designs and obstacles, different altitudes, and so on. It's pretty interesting and fun. It kind of reminds me of Cool Math games and Pikmin. The fun coming from repetition and mastery of the game mechanic, and really learning how the game functions, plays, and level layouts. The satisfaction you get from completion is just unparalleled. It's a fun game with excellent pixel art, just to the max. If you like what you see though, this one is actually available on Steam already. It's also on itch.io and Switch. Speaking of already on Switch, our next game.
Getting some shit off, boss.
Exiting narrator. El narrador se ha cerrado inesperadamente. Si esto no se espera.
So, I think you can see a running theme here with my favorites. Definitely do not have a slight 3D platformer bias. No, totally not. Now, despite there being a lot of 3D platformers, each one has their own unique spin, look, and feel. None of them are the same. The only thing they have in common is that they're all fun, and this is no exception. I really just loved vibing to this. Despite my computer running it like absolute doo-doo, and seriously, apologies for it looking this bad. This is just what my computer can handle. Sorry. It was really fun fun. I really enjoyed the character design. It was so unique and had so much flavor, alongside the whole look of the game really. It reminds me of Astro's Playroom, but if it was actually fleshed out into a full game with a story and etc. Everything, and I mean everything, is themed to tech and computers, using discs to the collectible being ones and zeros. It was awesome. It was super amazingly well done. Another thing that was kind of unique, I think, was that it actually used the collectible slash currency inside of the actual level. It themed it to it being megabyte packages you needed to unload. I thought it was crazy unique. This was another game that really pushed and rewarded you for going out of your way to see if there was hidden things around the level. They even give you extra costumes that you can rock as a reward for exploring. It's so cool. I love when platformers do this, and well, I may add. Oh, and can't forget, of course, cool ass music. Same as before, this one is actually coming out soon. If I take too long editing this, it might already be out, so please check it out on Steam. This one, I just found out while browsing Sage immediately. Once again, I have to compliment the character design. If it's something that catches my attention and I can immediately go, oh, I know them, you know, from playing it beforehand, that's when you got something, and I just gotta hand it to them. Look at him! Looking spiffy with his little body! I love 2D and pixel art so much. This is just wonderful art. Every stage has a fantastic vibe, and really, the music just complements it so well. My favorite absolutely being 1-3 with its fall theme. I personally love woodland areas, and combining it with fall themes as well is just so smart, and I love it. Here, take a listen, please. Really, the entire soundtrack is just fantastic, and I think they even have it on YouTube too, so you can listen to it. Please take a listen. It's the best kind of whiplash I've ever gotten. It just makes me so happy just standing around, and it just keeps me pushing forward whenever I move. It has so much energy and soul to it. It's so freaking good. But talking about the gameplay for a sec, this is one agile little guy. My man has a lightning dash, a punch slash, feather jump, and he can even parry. Bro, it's insane. Now this did cause a little bit of a problem for me, at least, because they were both mapped to the back, shoulder, and trigger buttons. So in the heat of the moment, I would get very confused, but it probably was just me trying to learn how to get used to that, so it's no biggie in my opinion. But each level really puts you and your ability to switch between them to the test, especially on... Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm sure it's a coincidence. Anyways, especially in 1-4 where they make you squeeze through tight jumps that have you butt clenching, hoping you remember what to do at the right time. It's insane. Luckily though, there aren't any lives, so it's challenging but forgiving. I think I would have cried if I had to start all the way over with the amount of times I died. This is an amazing game that blew me away. I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on it. Amazing job. Now, hear me out. I know this is technically a fan game, but I really wanted to mention it because... Yeah. Exactly, that's what I thought. Silliness aside, this fan game shows so much promise, and they quite literally translated how a bubble bobble game could work as a 3D platformer. Just right off the bat, it starts off as 2D, and it even replicates a pixel art style in Unity, which pays homage to games like Bubble Memories, then transitions into 3D both visually through a warp door and under the hood in the engine. Oh, and the music also changes depending on where you are. If you're in 2D, then it sort of has like an old muffled sound, reminiscent of like chiptune and such. And then when you hop over to 3D, it utilizes full modern instrumentation. It's so cool. And that's not even mentioning its visuals. It's just pure eye candy. It feels like comfort food, you know, the kind where you feel right back at home, even if it's for a moment, and no matter how many times you go back to it, it's still good. And remember how I said the game uses like a visual filter or pixel art style when in 2D? Well, it also keeps that in a way for its platforms and collectibles, as both retain and explode into pixels. It's so charming and it has so much pizzazz to it. It's so admirable. They really did an amazing job. I think comfort really describes this game's vibe. Well, most of the time.
Is he waving high or? Wait a minute! Ah! I wasn't ready for this! I thought he was just saying hi! Leave me alone!
It's just a game you can boot up and immediately feel good about playing and just enjoy yourself. On top of that, quite literally, as I said before, this feels as if Taito faithfully turned Bubble Bobble into a 3D platformer. It feels amazing to just run around and mess with mechanics, and you even have a bubble blowing mechanic, which is how you take care of enemies and solve puzzles, and even platform just like in the past. Another thing I really loved was the character models. They retain their most apparent characteristics, and they feel like themselves, but you know, this time in 3D. They're expressive as can be, and I think they even have squash and stretch implemented into them when they jump or move around. It's just so pleasant to just look. I love them. By the way, best character in my opinion is Devin, just purely because he has a double jump and a glide. It aids in the 3D platforming so well, and it gives me a little more room to breathe. If any of these games look interesting to you, I highly implore you to seek them out, and that's not even mentioning the tons and tons of other ones I didn't even mention. I left them in the description of this video, and they are all free to try out. If they left a good impression on you, then please go support them as they release on Steam or wherever they're going to release. It's a very competitive market, and anything helps out, especially a sale from you. Yeah, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, thank you.